Good morning, neighbors. Good morning, neighbors. One more time, just for good luck. Good morning, neighbors, and welcome to the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital with studios at the 88 to 90 Abercrombie Street in Port of Spain, Trinidad, West Indies, Earth. Thank you so much for joining us. Fullcasting this morning. We just heard from Paul Richards with our news brief. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen. He'll be knocking on the door. Wendell Stephen, yep, he'll be knocking. Richard Raghubar Singh, he'll be coming in. Ruben is in the mix somewhere. Of course, he's watching the weather to wash his car. Tell you the paint will rub off just now. My name is Steve Khan. We'll keep you company until 9 o'clock this morning. But let's get straight into the WTs, see what's happening on the highways and on the byways as you traverse wherever you have to go. I got nothing really to tell you about. A bit of volume from Trin City towards Paget Yui. The south pretty much clear. Rivulet Road has got a bit of volume as you head towards California and Coover. Earlier accident by Carney, I believe, is all cleared up. Northbound, there was a car that ran into a tree. Hope everybody is okay. And that is it regarding traffic. Let's get into the weather, see what's happening. It's been a couple of showers overnight and early this morning. Let's see. Met Office has not updated their weather for the morning as yet, but they were saying it's going to be, yesterday they said it's going to be partly cloudy with a few showers and a 40% medium chance of isolated heavy showers or thunderstorms. This evening will be mostly settled. All right. Yeah. And that's your weather forecast. Check in some temps across our listenership. It is 24 degrees at Piarco and at Crown Point in Tobago, 20 and clear in Toronto, Miami, drizzle and 28, Orlando, partly cloudy and 24, New York, mostly sunny and 20 degrees. Atlanta, you're clear at 23, London, partly cloudy and 20 degrees, Tampa, you're 25 and cloudy, Washington, D.C., good morning to you, Chris Doucet. Welcome back home. Mostly sunny. All right, that's your WTs this morning. Let's you send us hellos via our mobile app or website. And those on YouTube that just locked on. First off the gate, we got Maria Marva, followed by Gothcillian Valencia, Wendy Ann, DJ Ray out in Delaware, Oliver Man Warren. It's Hump Day. That's correct. Rena Boodoo Jennings. Woohoo! Hump Day and good morning. Thank you, Rena. Miss Ingrid, good morning. CJ out in New York, have a fantastic day yourself. On YouTube, let's say good morning, good on to Mo Gaines. Doreen Pierre, good morning. Kazim Mohammed, Brenda Isaac, Ms. Maloney Dudu, good morning. And the great good morning to you as well. And let me say good morning going out to the gentleman there. Good morning.
Morning, Steve and Wendell. Morning, everyone.
Morning, Paul Richards. Morning, Wendell.
Morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, all our listeners and viewers. I hope I get good coverage where I am again today. I'm trying to.
That's a better place.
Huh?
It's clearly better there.
Yeah. You know, the light is just obliquely above my head.
It's a little light and put it in front of your face.
Yeah, that's what I'll try to get. I'll try to get that.
Take the light out of the camera system in the bedroom with the swings and stuff. That might work.
I'll try that.
Lights that just stream on at 11 o'clock in the night. Yeah, that light.
Yeah. Anyway, today's July 27th, isn't it?
It is 26th.
No, it's the 26th. It's the 26th. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Tomorrow marks the attempted coup.
Yep.
Of course, it'll be 33 years, if my math is correct. 33 years since that happened.
Yeah,
wow.
33 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. A lot of people.
I just read out last night, filming some segments for TTT for an airing of a documentary done by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on their role in the attempted coup 33 years ago. So some of the officers, I interviewed some of the officers who would have participated on that day and the 6 days after, and also Joanne Archie, Manager Corporate Communications, Aisha Corby Social Support Services, and some other officers who would have been a part of it. So quite an interesting evening. It was filmed at the Rotunda at the Red House. So that airs on TTT, I think, tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
You said the police role in that attempted coup? That would be interesting to see.
The police role in intervention. A lot of there have been about 6 or 7 books written. We've heard a lot about what the army did, but not a lot has been told about what the police have done. Actually, this documentary called Code 727. And 727 because, of course, it happened on the 27th of the 7th month in 1990. There was a lot of misunderstanding and misinformation about the role the police played. And you will hear some riveting commentary, very, very emotional testimony from some of the officers who form part. Two officers reported as died. One is ACP Roger George, and another McLeod.
McLeod was the sentry.
Yeah. Is it Simon McLeod? Yeah. Who died. I mean, and what's his name? Mervyn Richardson, who was part of the special branch in the Red House, who threw himself over then Prime Minister Ian Robinson, and their accounts of what happened from the first-hand view of when Bilal Abdullah and that part of the Muslimin invaded the Red House simultaneously as Yassin Abubakar went into TTT. And it's quite interesting, about an hour and 35 minutes long, so it airs on TTT, I think, tomorrow night.
Okay, interesting.
But it was screened a year ago, which I had the honor to host at Queen's Hall with then President Paul M. Weeks and Dr. Rowley and then Commissioner McDonald Jacob and others, and a full hall at Queen's Hall in attendance, and members of the TTPS and special invited guests. So this is the television premiere of it.
Okay. All right. It should make interesting viewing.
It is riveting. Some things you wouldn't think happened. So had an interesting conversation with Joanna Archie also.
Really?
Why is that? Why did that wry smile come right after that?
God, I don't want to put Joanna Archie in trouble.
She's out of the service now. You can't put her in any trouble.
She's the manager of corporate communication. She's not out of the service.
Yeah, no, but she's out of the service. But she is on contract as manager of corporate communications,
which means she's not out of the service.
Yeah. Oh God, Paul.
She's the manager of corporate communication of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. How is that out of the service?
She is not in the police
service
anymore.
She's not an active police officer, but she's a part of the service.
No, she's not. I'm telling you what Ms. Archie herself told me, you know.
Okay. Well, I don't know that being a manager of a significant section of the police operations is not part of the service. She may not be an active officer.
But Ellen Lewis was manager of corporate communications at the TTPS. She was not a police officer. Most times they put somebody.
I never said she was a police officer. I said she's part of the police service.
No, she's not. She's a civilian who working for the police service.
You get emotional when the Lewis name come around here. So move on.
No, I'm just saying she is not. She can't do any police work.
I never said she's an active police officer, sir.
Okay, all right. We talking the same thing, but in different languages. Clearly, it's all right. Anyway, all those celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday!
Yeah, we're in New Jersey today.
Including Louis, I have my Panama jersey, a blue and white jersey. I had a conversation with Gary Griffith yesterday because, of course, these messages started spreading about him not speaking at that meeting and whatnot and so on. So he said he chose not to speak. I said, but how you could choose not to speak in a meeting of that significance? You know, he said he wanted Jack to get the prominence. We didn't speak for long, but you know, Jack
was always going to get the prominence.
Well,
Whether Gary
yes.
spoke or not, Jack was always going to get the prominence.
Yeah, but I think he said those rumors about him being upset and not speaking not true. So
People is
I say,
actually getting to them stupidness.
yeah,
People is getting to them foolishness.
yeah. I'm sure you got those kind of messages on your phone.
No, I didn't actually. No.
Okay. So
Maybe any wrong groups.
I sent it to him and I asked him, is there any truth in it? And he actually called me. So we spoke and we promised to speak some more because I want to get some more I want to get into Gary Griffith's head as to what really he's doing. Because
you want to get into the NTA, that's what you're saying?
I want to get in Gary Griffith's head as to what he is doing. Because Gary Griffith that's not the Gary Griffith I know. That aligning himself back with these people is not the Gary Griffith who we knew and we basically admired for the positions that he took. I could understand Jack Warner. Jack Warner is an old man who have a lot of money still and just on whatever games he on. Because you see that how he ended all his obfuscations. He's a man very good at that, and how he ended with these barbs he pelt at Marvin Gonzalez and Stuart Young. That is Jack Warner. He invented a whole newspaper to do that against the Kamla and UNC and other people. A whole newspaper he invented to do just that. So nothing about Jack Warner and what he says and does surprises me. Nothing. You understand? He know about folk. He have his guns focused on Dr. Keith Rowley, and that is his business. You understand? I wish him luck with that. You understand? I don't think he will be as successful though. Simply because he does not know Dr. Keith Rowley the way he knew Kamla Persad-Bissessar. He did not make Dr. Keith Rowley the way he made Kamla Persad-Bissessar. He did not finance Dr. Keith Rowley the way he financed Kamla Persad-Bissessar. You understand? So he can go ahead with his thing. He's a queen maker. He will never be a king destroyer. That much I can tell you. Right. So but they had a noise, so much so that it was annoying Jack Warner and all. And he asked them to cool it. You understand? Because it was just noise. Every 2 words somebody says is just noise. You understand? But they clearly got a lift from Jack Warner. And I want to tell Gary, but I wouldn't tell him that. I didn't get to tell him that yesterday. But he ain't needed anymore. I don't know if he know that. I don't know if he's seeing that. He not really needed anymore. They get back their Uncle Jack. And Steve, you can play that tune by Karine Ashe today. That's a nice tune to play in honor of Jack Warner's return to the politics. You understand? They don't need him. They don't need Gary Griffith. They don't need MND. Gavin Nicholas was nowhere to be seen or heard. You understand? So all he talk about be partnering with MND and NTA, they don't need them anymore. ILP disbanded the whole party yesterday. Jack Warner was on platform one night saying he going to disband it and then join the UNC. Well, he disbanded already. So we all know what's going on with him. You understand? I'm feeling sorry for the NTA people and the MND. But MND is just one man, I think. Must be a wife and 2 children or something. I think he started off with 10. He must be down to about 3 or 4 now. You know? They don't need them. Uncle Jack come back with the bag, with the brown bags of money. That's what it need. That is what they could take again. Oh, if I was so tempted to join Ole yesterday when Ole was talking to Jack Warner to ask him if he's just a sucker for abuse. You understand? He clearly is a sucker for abuse. He going right back in there where these people are the worst things to say about him. I can't do them things, you know. I'm sorry, but I ain't made up that way. In politics or in life. You understand? I can't do it. And there's a special breed of people who could take that kind of abuse and continue with it. Special breed of people. You know, I'm going to get a whole set of messages now when you talking, Steve and Paul is only go quiet. They don't say nothing. I just get a message all the time.
And let you get it off your chest.
No, I'm just
when
saying.
I interrupt you, I interrupt you. I stay quiet, let you get it off your chest. You're complaining. What you want? You difficult to leverage, you know. So you must be real hard to live with, boy. When you're talking, let me talk what I have to say. I stay quiet. I listen. I let you get it off your chest. I give you a whole 10 minutes to rant. Your rant. I ain't saying nothing. You're very upset. You must be the hardest man to live with, boy. I don't understand why things just happen, you know.
Damned
if you do, damned if you don't. I let you get it off your chest.
As a matter of fact, on the contrary, I'm the most simplest, easiest person.
Me feel so.
I tell people.
I
have this thing I just tell people. I only talk on radio, you know, for between 6 and 9. That is what I've done for years. Generally, I don't talk after that, you know.
That's a problem. You have to talk to them. You see, your communication is an important part in relationship. You have to talk to them. You cannot talk after you come on the radio.
I don't talk much after that.
That is your problem.
Action.
You're done or you want the next 5 minutes? You're done? You're done.
I'm good. I had enough to say about that Jack thing. All I know is that Uncle Jack is back, and that is who they're going to use. Nobody else.
He certainly has excited the local government election campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With everything else but local elections again.
That's all right.
I
think it's good for the election because it was going to be very boring and nondescript.
I can't argue with that.
So
I can't argue with that.
The Council for Responsible Political Behavior says the PNM has breached the Code of Ethical Political Conduct.
With
a statement issued yesterday, the council said it met on Monday and considered 2 complaints submitted by the UNC, one of which related to the language used by the Prime Minister on the platform at a meeting in San Fernando on July 15th, and the other concerned advertising flyers of 2 PNM candidates. Now, you see this council, I find if you're going to monitor election platforms, monitor all the platforms.
Yeah.
Don't wait for complaints to come to you.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
And I find it's very interesting that a statement comes out. And I'm not doubting the statement has validity here, but I find don't wait for people to complain. You monitor all the political events, monitor all. And you, as a council, comment on what you think is appropriate and inappropriate.
Is that the council led by Dr. Bishnu Raghunath?
The very same one.
Oh, okay.
My sentiments exactly. Nothing further needed to be said, right?
No, absolutely nothing.
Right. Okay, we can move on now. But I want to strip, and I'm not invalidating what they're saying about the meeting on July 15th or the other complaint. My issue, if you are calling yourself a council for responsible political behavior, in addition to people reporting issues to you, you should take it upon yourself to listen to all the events, just like we do here.
Yeah.
And make comments on what you think is appropriate and all, because on every platform I hear inappropriate content.
Well, we certainly heard coming out of the Center of Excellence the other day. But what were the complaints against the PNM in San Fernando? Did they identify it?
He said some language. Somebody tell me in practical. If you're calling yourself the council, that's your work. It probably has at most 3 meetings a night. A week, sorry. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you are a responsible council, to me, do it in addition to people reporting, you set up systems to monitor, because I think that is the more, because people may say things if you're not monitoring, and you do hear how is that really supervising the thing, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will say no more on that.
Give me a half a second, they Paul.
You're going to do it.
No, I'm going to change. I'm closing the screen behind my back.
At least give them 2 minutes. At least give them 2 minutes now. Yeah, I
had to shift position because of my battery. The battery.
Monitor all political events.
Yeah.
If you don't only want specific reports.
Yeah.
So that you can look at the context in which everything is said from all political parties.
That is true. That is
okay?
True.
Because a report may not give you the context you need. And I'm not again invalidating the 2 reports that the UNC sent, because you understand?
Yeah.
But you can't not monitor all if you are calling yourself a council for responsible political behavior.
Yeah. Yep. No argument there.
I mean, I'm not surprised. The prisons commissioner, has sent out a release yesterday. They held a prison officer attempting to send or to take contraband items into the prison. Well, that is happening every day.
Mm-hmm.
So you get one, okay, great. You get one.
It's who they catch.
You feel all that weed and put in the prison is one officer in the last 2 months? Or in the last month? You feel all that weed because they tell me if they don't get weed in there's problems here.
Yeah.
There's allowed the weed to keep people calm.
Yeah. They allow
because they don't have a shortage of weed in them prisons. Chaos here. So I guess in some prison is the lesser of 2 evils. Let them get their weed and stay mellow as opposed to get agitated with all the weed.
Yeah.
So while we commend the system for identifying the officer taking the marijuana and other contraband items recently, come on, we know it. How we going in there? And phone. And pizza.
And cigarette.
And cigarette.
And cigarettes, I think they sell in the canteen, but I think it's sold for pretty expensive. Very
Everything
expensive.
in prison is expensive.
Yeah.
You can pay in different ways from what I hear.
Yeah.
I had a conversation about
they don't only accept tendered currency.
Strange enough, that formed the basis of a conversation the other day, and it's a life that say that regardless of whether you intended to live it or not, you live it because of where you are and the
circumstances. It's not like you're gonna walk out.
Yeah, and the circumstances that that face you,
Let me tell you something. There have been several sociological studies done. Human beings are very adaptable creatures here. You wouldn't want to live a prison life. But a lot of what happens in prison is because of the circumstances they find themselves in.
Yeah.
In terms of almost every aspect of their life. You understand? Including human instincts and urges.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And when you come out, you switch back.
Yeah. Yep.
You know that, right?
Yep. And I think
so they do what they have to do with who in there while they're in there, and when they come out, they get back to what they've been accustomed to all their life.
And it's worldwide, yeah?
And it's global.
Yeah.
It is global.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while I commend the prisons commissioner and his leadership team for apprehending this one officer, we know that it's a drop in the bucket. A drop in the bucket.
And imagine what they'll be telling these 4,000 young men who come before them lately.
But it ain't gonna be 4,000.
In terms of preparing them, well, they would have had, I guess, in the interviews, they would have had
4,000 presented themselves, but I doubt that they're openings for 4,000 officers.
No, they're not openings. But I'm saying that even the 4,000 that's presenting themselves would have had to be given some sort of lecture, if not, you know what I mean, at their screening process. What is expected of them and so on. Once you're selected, I'm sure that they would have been told all these things. you know. And then the next day in the news, they hear about prisons officer being held for bringing in stuff, you know.
Well, you know, to me also, the number of persons, young men who turned up to be screened is also very telling.
It is, eh?
It is telling that people want jobs,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think I've ever seen that many young men turn up to prisons officers. Although it is one of the more coveted positions in national security from people who I know who are prisons officers. You know,
I heard that and I didn't believe it.
No, they in many people's estimations, they get a nice package. They get good benefits now. According to the law amended recently, the commissioner has the remit now to identify who getting FULs if they feel their lives are in danger. I've always heard friends and colleagues who are in the service say it's not a bad life. I'm gonna put it that way. You understand? Well, except when their lives are threatened, of course.
Right.
Which anybody will have
happened a lot. Yeah.
Well, and people have died. You know.
Yeah.
Remember the officer with the child. Officers have died, and it's not one. But I mean, all things being equal, I'm not surprised. But 3,000-4,000 is a lot. Which means that, I mean, the employment or unemployment situation in the country is significant.
Well, I was wondering too, because I think within a few days before too, they also had openings for Coast Guard, right? And Miss Darby, who called us, she called us about her nephew or somebody who tried out for the Coast Guard when they were asked about vaccination. Was it the Coast Guard?
Maybe.
I think it was the Coast Guard, because I saw that recruitment taking place on Wrighton Road by UTT there, right before St. Christopher's gas station. When I passed there 4 o'clock in the morning, I saw that. So she, but is it that the entry requirement for prisons lower? Because I was surprised at the amount who went in for the prisons. Also, I was kind of surprised, as opposed to the Coast Guard.
Well, to me, it's a sign of the times with employment and unemployment. And opportunities out there. To me, that's what it's indicative of. I mean, almost 4,000 young men turning up to be a prison officer. Not that it's a bad job. Tells me that people are seeking employment. You know, there are lots of people seeking employment.
Yeah.
So,
Paul, give me 2 seconds again. I'm just gonna open my gate for someone to come in. Give me 2 seconds.
You got a delivery this morning?
No. I have somebody coming to fix a pipe for me.
You know, I went. We had a line on Sunday, and I went all the way up to my friend's house. The colleague's house is in Cunupia. I going down in the back there. I see this way to Double Palm. Big sign on the road. The highway that Jack Water belonging down in the back of the licensing office in Central.
Yeah.
This big sign this way to the Double Palm. I said, what trouble? This is Double Palm everywhere.
But you sent me the new location there.
And I put a new location around. Where's that? Business booming?
You can see it from the highway driving up the road, you know.
Which one? The Double Palm in Arangwes?
The one in Arangwes. The one in Arangwes South.
What did you can see from the highway? I know how private that is.
No, you can see the building. I
don't know. See a car driving into?
Remember Double Palm has a rep for roll down garages and you go behind a wall and so you know.
Yeah, but if I see your car, if I only see your car by that time, I'm taking a picture.
You really feel like going there with my car?
I don't know.
I've never used a Double Palm, and I never will. My Double Palm is right here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm coming.
You know, you just said that and we're talking about Double Palm. That didn't go down right.
What? Well, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, geez. All right. Just a reminder of our morning poll. I'm going to give you the results shortly. Our poll yesterday was in light of the heightened campaigning. Do you think there will be a higher voter turnout for the local government elections? That's our poll from yesterday. You can vote on it. You have a couple of minutes again before I give you the final results. All right. Good morning to, let's see, we have some people coming in here. Mike Black, good morning. Gloria Gray, Carol Guevara, Rena Buru Jennings. She said, what? Okay. Marcia Rock, Jacinta Nicholas, um, Dancing Queen. Good morning to you. Dancing Queen. Should I sing that song? H.S. Wilson. Good morning and beauty culture. Thank you all for watching us on YouTube as we stream audio
Now,
video.
interestingly enough, last week I got a message from Republic Bank, and then I saw a release on the news media that Republic Bank has increased the limit of their card transactions from $10,000 to $50,000. I'm reading the article that is published in the Guardian newspaper yesterday. It is written by Peter Christopher, and it is headlined "Republic raises card purchase limit to 50,000." Right, and it says, in the wake of a series of thefts outside automatic teller machines (ATMs), Republic Bank has raised its point of sales and e-commerce transaction limit for customers. In a notice to customers last week, the bank confirmed it had increased the limit of these transactions from $10,000 to $50,000. Notice sent to customers was sent last Friday, stated, quote, open quotation marks, I should say, to facilitate greater access to your funds with your Republic Bank Visa debit card. The daily transaction limit for point of sale and e-commerce transactions cumulatively has increased from $10,000 to $50,000. No, it confused me for a second, but now I understand.
Yeah,
They haven't necessarily increased the amount of cash you can take out, but they've increased the purchasing power of your card, your debit card.
Yeah.
So that you don't need cash, in other words, right? You can use the cash for much higher level transactions so that you don't have to take out a lot of cash. You can go, for example, and buy something for $40,000 if you have that kind of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, Paul, the Republic Bank has now they're changing out their checks. So those with checkbooks that I have had for a while, you have to apply for new checkbooks.
Well, FCB did it, Scotia did it.
Yeah.
Royal Bank did it.
I didn't know about that till yesterday.
So I commend Republic Bank for this move because I think it shows that you are looking at the environment and responding appropriately.
Yeah.
You understand? Because we've spared no words in telling the banks what we think about them for the last couple of months.
But Paul, does that go for the tap as well? When you tap on the links machine, when you have the card and you tap,
it is a point of sale. It is not a cash release increaser. Keep that in mind. So if you have those kinds of funds available, you can do transactions up to $50,000. I think it's a day. So you don't have to take out a large amount of cash to do transactions if you want to purchase something up or items up to that amount daily. So I think it's a commendable move, and certainly in keeping with what is happening in the environment and keeping their customers safe. So good on you, Republic Bank. I wonder if the others will follow suit.
And well, the tap, when you use your tap or your Republic Bank tap on your machine, your links machine, it can either get it for $300 or $500. Additionally, the individual with the card, you can only tap it 3 times per day.
So, I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until last week when I went to put gas or something like that, and I tapped, and I know I used it before. I tapped and it didn't go through, and she said, have you used it more than 3 times? And I said, I did. She said, no, you have to insert it into the machine. You tap 3 times.
Maybe it's a safety device. Anyway, it's 21 before 7. Let's get into the trending stories, unless someone has newspapers.
No,
I'm monitoring Raghubar Singh here because he's get antsy.
No, he sent a message,
Well, I'm not in that group. I wouldn't know.
Let me tell you, his message
You just said he may be late or not at all.
Yeah, he might be late if I make it at all. He just got home. That's at 2:33. Strange enough, somebody also messaged me around that same time. So I'm wondering, I have to check that connection.
Right. So let's start with the Guardian for today, Wednesday, 26 July. 2 elderly men perish in separate house fires. Really sad news. Blows for Jack from Gonzales and Devant. Of course, Marvin Gonzales has responded to Jack Warner's innuendo.
Yeah.
And
What did he say about Marvin, though? Do we know? I
PM
didn't.
breaches code of ethics again, counsel. I will ignore you, Steve.
No, I was just
I don't
asking.
I don't want to repeat it. I don't want to repeat it.
It can be considered homophobic.
Oh,
that's where he went.
all right.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not even saying that. Bounce up in FET led to Kamala's reunion with Jack. Political analyst warned PNM should be worried by Warner's return. That could be the subject of our question this morning. Should the PNM be worried about Warner's return to the UNC fold? Our Republic raises purchase limit to 50,000. Party done for ILP. Jack hits campaign trail with Gary. Gary not upset with Warner's return, to Wendel's point earlier on. And former Calypsonian dies in house fire. So condolences to his family and colleagues. We move now to the Express for today. 8 more migrants freed. And a Venezuelan woman who said she suffered a miscarriage while in detention at the Chaguaramas heliport was among 8 migrants freed yesterday. That imbroglio continues. Yeah. Raw deal for ECCE teachers. Jack hits the road in blue. A picture of Jack Warner, Gary Griffith, and another NTA person, a female, unidentified, hitting the road yesterday. Read the THA Act again, so says Chief Secretary of the Assembly, Fadi Augustine. Kamala, police must probe 10 days tape. Enough spaces for migrant kids in schools are challenged. PAN goes to the UN. Jared Besser has died. And Jack on the attack. We move now to the Newsday for today. Let me just update it. Right. Kamala put THA whistleblower into witness protection. Diego Martin, man not guilty of sex attacks on stepdaughter. Break-in at Church of the Assumption. Economist Marlene Atz. Minimum wage increase comes with pros and cons. Law Association, drops pursuit of legal costs in case against Chief Justice. And neighbors rescue attempts fail. Retiree dies in fire. So those are some of the trending stories in your Express, Guardian, and Newsday for today, July 26th. The other question we could possibly poll is if the THA witness blower should be put into witness protection, as is being suggested by Mrs. Pasabi Sessa. So you all choose.
What's that?
Do you Mrs. Pasabi Sessa suggesting is it Akil Abdullah?
Yeah.
Be put into witness protection.
How why?
Because some people are suggesting his life may be in danger. Dr. Soyafat Anderson and others told us that.
So
I don't know.
Fali Augustine in asked for that. Nobody in Tobago in asked for that. Akil Abdullah
I wouldn't say nobody in Tobago has asked for that.
But Kamala, if Fali Augustine wanted that, he would have said it out publicly already.
But Fali Augustine is not the only person who could ask for that.
But and I'm saying, what's the connection between Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Akil Abdullah?
It doesn't have to be any connection. It's just somebody worried about their citizen safety. Why you have to have a connection?
Why you have to be so defensive of me asking that question?
I am not defensive of you. I'm explaining to you why anybody can ask for if they think somebody's life in danger.
What's the other option for your poll? What's the other option?
I knew you was going to change the topic fast. The other option for the poll is, should the PNM be worried by Warner's return?
Yes, that's a better question. It's
I thought you would say
and
that.
Akil Abdullah.
Right.
Let's
don't shout at me,
Don't
shout. Don't be raising your voice at me. Change your tone. Change your tone. Okay? I am not the one.
No,
okay?
That's a better question, actually.
I have no problem with you saying that. Mm-hmm. Okay? Should the PNM be worried by Warner's return to the UNC? Right? Yes. Is that okay?
Yes, that's a better question. And one would think I would go with the other question, but it actually is a better question. I think the question about Kamala Prasad Bisesa worried about Akil Abdullah is...
All right, we move on.
So hypocritical, I've never heard it. So we'll do that one. Do I have to get pen and paper?
I would imagine. So you have to do something.
right, hold on.
Let's give the results of our poll from yesterday. It's now closed. In light of the heightened campaigning, do you think there will be a higher voter turnout for the local government elections? That was our poll yesterday. The results are in. It's not too bad. 59% said yes. 59% said yes. All right. This morning's poll, give us a call, 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. You can answer our poll via YouTube or on our mobile app and website at power102fm.com. Good morning to you, Winston Jones, Edwin Marshall. Good morning to you.
You know what? Somebody just tell me, Mandel.
And Meb. Morning. All right, our poll again.
You know what? Somebody tell me, Mandel.
What's that?
You and Mandel sound like an old married couple.
You all together that living together for 150 years.
I've actually, somebody has actually told me that already, you know. You and Paul should get a room.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Please no. Our question this morning: should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC? Yes
This
or no?
This poll will inspire a lot of the UNC people to call it today.
Will it inspire PNM people to call in? Where's your point?
PNM people always call in.
Oh, I'm glad you know that.
I'm not no. I tell you, you don't get deceit or how I should put it, or hypocrisy from me, you know.
All right, so 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Message us via our mobile app, website, or YouTube. Should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the United National Congress? Yes or no? Kenny out in Harlem says no to the poll. H.S. Wilson said yes. Brenda Isaac says, oh, no at all.
I'm sorry. I got distracted there.
You see, Steve, I know you wasn't writing, you know, voter pardon again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not over now.
All right, let's do it again.
I know you wasn't writing. I think you give me some bogus total at the end.
Yeah.
Again,
all right, let's do it again. I just rewound.
I know you.
H.S. Wilson says definitely yes. Kenny and Harlem says no to the poll. Brenda Isaac says, oh, no at all. Slick Money Grip says, I vote no. Winston Jones to the poll, no. Let's see. Stretch, great as a PNM, no. GB, no to the poll. What says you, caller? Sorry, I didn't get your poll. Yes. Thank you, pal. All the best.
Good morning.
That's my plumber.
All right, Trevor, you're not gonna. I get a long distance number from you.
The man will come to fix your pipes.
You're in New York. Trevor from Arima, that is in New York, says no.
Your pipes malfunctioning.
Good
morning.
Morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I said no.
All righty. Thank you.
The troops out this morning, boy.
Miss Ingrid says yes, absolutely.
The troops
DJ
out.
Ree says no.
Mr. Pina, come get your troops together.
Rena Boodoo Jennings says no. Beauty culture.
And Wendell partner from New York.
Harold Guevara is doing it. Christine says hell no. Josie Richardson. Morning, Josie. My answer is Ms. Maloney.
What did Josie Richardson say? Paul was singing over Josie Richardson.
Says yes. Ms. Maloney says hell no. What says you, caller?
Jessica.
No, definitely not.
All righty. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Brandy. Yes.
All right. Thank
And
you.
then the song is that Jessica.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes to the poll.
Yes to the poll. Where are you calling us from?
Diego Martin.
Diego Martin. Thank you so
Good
much.
morning, Diego Martin.
That
All
sounds
the
like a
best,
new
yeah.
caller.
Yeah, sound
Good
like a
morning,
new
caller. Good morning. Caller, good
Zero,
morning.
wake up.
All right, caller is not there. All right, 222-8255. Toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099.
I think tomorrow we could do a straw poll. If election were held today, what would the vote be?
Save that
Yeah,
for
fine.
Friday when I'm there now.
As a Friday.
But for
poll, yeah.
Friday, well,
Yeah.
tomorrow's Tuesday, today's Wednesday, today's Tuesday already, yes, for some reason.
Yeah, I woke up thinking today was Thursday too. Let's see. D says the swing voters are smarter than that. No to the poll.
Jessica.
Good morning, caller. Thank you so much. Good morning. Caller, good morning. Not there. All right. Something's wrong with your phone. Check it out. I think that's the second time you tried calling in. Good morning.
Gentlemen.
All
Hey,
right.
good morning.
Hold on. Wendell, put down no.
Aye, long time.
All right.
No, I
Don't even flinch, just put on no.
I did not hear the poll. I went to the bathroom.
Don't worry. Keep listening. We already have your vote. We already have your vote.
All right.
As a PNM, they worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC.
Oh, hell no.
You see what I mean?
Just spent for.
You see what I mean? All righty.
Thanks.
Hey, Wendell.
Good morning.
What a shock.
That is Jessica Dale, you know that, right?
Yeah. Morning.
That's Jessica Dale.
Dave goes sign. Morning, Dave says no. Should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC? That is our poll. Yes or no? Tell us where you're calling from. Look, this same caller is calling and just hang it up. All right. Tell us where you're calling from as well. Yes. Okay. Paul and Richard reminds me of what? The two old men critics, the balcony.
There's actually a nice sticker with them, you know. I enjoy using that sticker.
The
Muppet Show, from the Muppet Show.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
I love that. I find that is so funny. Let's see. Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, guys. No lightning. Don't strike the same place twice.
There's so anyway, let me hush.
Yeah, don't change the pool. Do not.
Just yes or no, Sherry. That's all we want. CJ from New York says no. Big guy says no. Sorry, Mogin says big hell no to the poll, gentlemen. All right, thank you.
I thought you were going to say big guy said no. I want to know what's going on there.
I saw big in my mind. I just went a big guy. Trini in Boston. Good morning, and no. Thank you, Trini in Boston. All right. Should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC?
We know for sure that the ILP was disbanded yesterday. We saw that release.
Well, he said he was going to disband it. He didn't disband it.
But the release came out.
The release came out?
Yeah. Did you get it?
No.
I didn't see that. No.
Hold on. Somebody sent that for me. Hold on. Let me find out.
Have you verified it as authentic?
Is it credible?
Well, hold on. I'll get it.
But he told the meeting and he told us he was going to. Maybe he did later in the day. I don't know.
Probably.
Who would have sent that to me, boy? Somebody would have sent that to me. I'm looking for the usual suspect, but I'm not seeing it from him. I'm not seeing it from Johnson. I'm not seeing it from Jaron. But I'm sure I got that yesterday from someone on an ILP letterhead.
Okay. All right. 222-8255. North Americans. Toll-free number for you. 866-525-1099. Also on YouTube, you can send us a message and also on our mobile app and website. Michael Williams, aka Long Islander, says no. All right.
Mhm.
Yep, we got 4.5 minutes again before the big bad wolf walks in for our major news at 7 o'clock. And right after that, we will chat with Honorable Minister Fitzgerald Hines. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Any more here coming through? I got Michael Williams. Right. Gotcha. Okay. There you go. Right. Should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC? Yes or no? Tell us where you're calling from. We just love to know where you're calling from. And you can answer our poll questions, just like Long Island and Mo Gaines and Dave and so on. All right. DJ Ray. DJ Ray, you voted already. So, yeah. Can't double vote. No double voting. All right. Should the PNM be worried? When Jack is back with the UNC. Yes or no? Jack is back. Tell us what you think. 3.5 minutes to vote. Call us.
Okay. All right. So the release stated that they will be having a meeting.
He
Thanks
said
for
that.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks. Morning, Adande.
Morning, Piggly.
Exactly. I know I didn't know no official disbanding thing,
Well, I did say I was going to check it in.
but you were so definitive at the start before we asked you to get the
Well,
release.
I was.
You see again, you can't take your word for it.
Mm.
All right. Caller, good morning. Caller, I don't know what is going on your phone. You've been trying to call. I don't know what is happening with your phone. All right. Wendy and James. Morning, Wendy Ann. Okay, Wendy Ann, we just want yes or no, please. Mrs. R says, I will leave Richard for you, Adande. Good morning. Yeah, Bacchanal.
I will leave. That's kind of.
Wendy Ann says no. All right, thank you, Wendy Ann. Ardent listener says, JW, nothing. Okay. We don't want to guess what your answer would be, so we appreciate a yes or a no. Thank you. Herder Wells says no. Anthony Tinto. Good morning, Anthony Tinto. Hope all is well in Canada. Trinidad first. No. Who is Jack Warner? All right.
I think the results of this local government election is going to be quite telling.
Yeah, there'll be a wailing and gnashing of teeth after. That much I can tell you, because I've said it before, and I'm going unless something changes between now and August 14th, the UNC going to win the seats they are accustomed winning. The PNM going to win the seats they are accustomed winning. The NTA will win nothing. The PDP will win nothing. The PEP will win nothing. The MND, well, they ain't contesting nothing, so they can't win nothing. MSJ, are they contesting? I don't think so.
Yes, they are in point 14.
They actually contesting? Well, they will win nothing. And whoever else is there. The independents, I think there are about 15 independents. They will also win nothing. That is what is going to happen after. And
you have a real clear crystal ball.
And then,
if one of them will, what are you going to do?
And then there'll be fresh calls for Kamla Prasad-Bissessar.
You're going to eat that t-shirt?
Let me finish. There'll be fresh calls for Kamla Prasad-Bissessar to step down from the UNC because she can't win a general election in 2025. Jack Warner will want to take over the party. Gary Griffith will want to take over the party. Dr. Munilal will want to take over the party.
You will have a crystal ball there, boy.
Right. all right. So August 15th or 16th, because Monday is the election, I'll probably join you all on here Tuesday, because I will be coming on here to say I told you also. So I'll come in Tuesday, right?
And if you're wrong, and if you're wrong,
if I'm wrong, it will manifest itself before August 14th, and I will say,
if you're wrong, we'll come into Ron Box and take whatever we want.
That too. But if I'm wrong,
you hear that? He said that too.
If I'm wrong, Paul and Steve, if I'm wrong, and listeners, if I'm wrong, it will manifest itself before the date of the election. And I will say, guys, I'm seeing a change here. This may happen so, or this may happen that way. I will say that. But between now and then, that is what's going to happen.
All right, let's run into our major news, shall we? Evie is in on this, the 26th day of July.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The Council for Responsible Political Behavior says the People's National Movement has breached the Code of Ethical Political Conduct. The acting prison commissioner confirms that an officer was held with contraband items during a search on Monday. The teachers' union is to meet with the Education Ministry's permanent secretary today, and more than 40 people have died in Algeria, Italy, and Greece as Mediterranean wildfires threaten villages and holiday resorts. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sentil Bob. Good morning. The Council for Responsible Political Behavior says the People's National Movement has breached the Code of Ethical Political Conduct. In a statement yesterday, the Council said it met on Monday and considered 2 complaints submitted by the United National Congress, one of which related to the language used by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on the PNM platform at a meeting in San Fernando on July 15th. The Council stated that Dr. Rowley's comments were in clear breach of the clause of the Code, which calls on parties to refrain from making false or defamatory allegations in print or speech in connection with an election in respect of a party, its candidates, representatives, or members. The second complaint concerned the advertising flyers of 2 PNM candidates in the Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. The council stated that the advertisements give the impression that the state resources are being channeled through the campaign offices of PNM candidates. The acting prisons commissioner has confirmed that an officer was held with contraband items during a search on Monday. Speaking with the media on Tuesday, Diopasad Ramuja said the officer was at the time attempting to take marijuana and other contraband into the Golden Grove prison at Aruca when he was searched along with inmates at the facility. Mr. Ramuja admitted there are rogue officers in the penal system, but said all will be done to rid the service of corrupt officers.
I can confirm that we have an ongoing searching exercise. We search inmates, we search officers, and yes, an officer was held yesterday with contraband items, cigarette and what appears to be marijuana. The police are calling. We have some officers who are in the system that are rogue. We're going to continue to weed them out.
Today, the teachers' union is scheduled to meet with the permanent secretary of the Education Ministry. Confirmation of this comes from Tutor President Martin Lumpkin. On Tuesday, Tutor supported early childhood care teachers, insisting they should be treated fairly as primary and secondary teachers. Tutor claims ECCE teachers have been asked by the Ministry of Education to come to the centers during the vacation period. However, speaking with the media, Mr. Lumpkin said tutors questioning the decisions, adding there is need for improved treatment of ECCE teachers.
The teachers are on vacation in the primary and secondary sector when their students are on vacation. However, the Ministry of Education is asking these teachers to report centers during this vacation. They are coming to supervise work. And further, they have not had cleaners at the centers. So, in the absence of to clean the centers, are they now extending that duty to our teachers? We say no, that has to be addressed immediately.
He suggested that changes be made to the contract under which ECCE teachers operate.
we have been advocating on behalf of our teachers. They are not being treated equally as other teachers. In the case of the contract as well, they have taken a generic contract from the public service and trying to utilize it in the teaching service, which has its own peculiarities and its own issues within that as well. They should have adjusted these contracts in order to be utilized within the teaching service. Actually, we meet with the permanent secretary tomorrow, and these issues will be brought up again. When last we spoke with the officials at the ministry, they said that they are in consultation with the chief personnel officer.
Police have detained 10 suspects in connection with a series of robberies from Chaguanas to San Fernando. The suspects were held yesterday in 3 different cars during a well-coordinated exercise by officers of the Southern and Central Divisions. Reports state that the men were found in possession of several fake license plates, which they allegedly changed after each robbery in an attempt to confuse the police. Several of the suspects were nabbed moments after allegedly committing a robbery at the Chase Village gas station. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. More than 40 people have died in Algeria, Italy, and Greece as Mediterranean wildfires threaten villages and holiday resorts. Thousands of persons have already been evacuated, with Greece preparing for more evacuation flights as fires also rage on the islands of Corfu and Evia. The current long heat wave shows no let-up, and temperatures are expected to rise above 44 degrees Celsius in parts of Greece. High winds and tinder-dry vegetation mean firefighters are struggling in many areas to douse the flames and create fire breaks. The heaviest death toll so far is in Algeria, where 34 victims, including 10 soldiers, were surrounded by flames and perished. Finally, here's weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, partly cloudy with isolated showers over a few areas. There is a 40% chance of the isolated thunderstorm, mainly during the morning and early afternoon. Generally fair night despite 1 or 2 isolated showers. Gusty winds and street flooding can occur in the event of heavy showers or thunderstorms. You can expect a temperature high of 32 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 31 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 26 degrees Celsius at both localities with rainfall. Recapping your headlines at 7 o'clock, the Council for Responsible Political Behavior says the People's National Movement has breached the Code of Ethical Political Conduct. The acting prison commissioner confirms that an officer was held with contraband items during a search on Monday. The teachers' union is to meet with Education Ministry's permanent secretary today, and more than 40 people have died in Algeria, Italy, and Greece as Mediterranean wildfires threaten villages and holiday resorts. I'm Avril Sintilbab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming your way at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Avril. Yeah, for our major news. You can join her again come 8 o'clock for our news brief on this, the 26th day of July. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise, shall we? Valencia Stretch approaching the bypass. You got some traffic there. Approaching Piarco, Trin City to UE, got some traffic. Bit of volume from the interchange heading towards Aranguez and then Barrett, Terrier, Port of Spain. You've got it. Eastern Main Road is not too bad. Pretty much approaching Macoya and Pasture Road. You got some traffic. Mount Hope to the Quasi also got some. Nothing out to the west. Carnage, you've got some traffic. Boy, they're doing some serious pipeline works down at Carnage. A lot of traffic on that side. You don't have to go to the western part. Don't. Let's head down San Fernando, make our way up north. Leaving San Fernando, you've got volume up towards Claxton Bay. Rivulet Road is beginning to get busy, and pretty much Freeport as you pass Chase Village towards Sugargonis. A bit of volume there. Sugargonis Main Road also is a bit sticky, but not that bad. And yeah, all right, that's quick traffic update for you. All right, welcome back, guys, and let me give you the results of our morning poll. do I have new votes? Scorpion Pepper, bonjour, TNT. Thank you, Scorpion Pepper. All right, so that's it. While I get my guest online via telephone, you can give the results of our morning poll.
All right, the results of our morning poll we asked this morning: should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC? We had 31 people voting this morning. 5 of you said yes, 26 said no. 1 was an emphatic hell no, and 25 no's. All right? So 26 no's.
The way you said 5 said no and 26 said no. Eh? That's what you just said. Would you like to clarify?
What's that, sorry?
You just said 5 said an emphatic no and 26 said no.
No, I said 1 said an emphatic hell no and 25 said no. So that's 26 said no. And 5 said yes.
All right.
Don't worry, I don't make them kind of.
Can you copy the ballot paper total and send it to us for verification?
Look at that. And I feel I miss a couple no's, you know. Oh, I have to be doing all kind of juggling here in my bedroom to try to get the light.
You're real mirrors, boy.
Yeah, that's the only mirror I have. No, it's not. There's another one by my one of my favorite places.
Pink in the bedroom, right?
Is that pink? You see that? Oh, that's it.
All right.
That's actually the color of the tile, you know.
Well, let's say good morning, good night to the honorable member, minister, I should say, Fitzgerald Hines. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
A very good morning, Mr. Khan. As usual, I'm personally quite fine.
Wonderful.
Good morning to your colleagues on the deck, and good morning to your listenership.
Yeah, well, we have Wendell and we have Paul with us this morning.
Oh, you have the Honorable Doctor, as well as the Honorable Wendell.
Morning, Minister. Morning.
A very good morning again.
Good morning, Minister Hines.
Good morning. Good morning.
So our question this morning was, should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC? Before I let Wendell give you the results of that poll, I'll ask you the question so we can add your response to the poll. So would you like to answer the question, should the PNM be worried about Jack Warner's return to the UNC, sir?
Well, in a sense, the PNM would be worried, but in many and most senses, we ought not and we will not be. We are worried that people with the track record of the likes of Jack Warner would be bold enough to offer himself as an advocate for other people in an election who also have very, very colorful records, track records in this country that we could live by, watch, observe, and beware of. So in that sense, I wonder sometimes, what do these people think of you and I as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? If you, after all that we know, could still come in my face as a recommender for people with sordid political and other records and offer yourself and them to the national community for political consumption. Oh, that is what I just worry about. But generally speaking, and in the wider sense, the PNM has been here for many, many decades. We have seen the back of over 70 political parties and many individuals who appeared in elections contests as independents. But altogether, over 70 political parties and countless numbers of individuals who felt that they could beat the PNM in one seat or the other. We have dealt with all of them over the years, and we dealt with them on the basis of strong policies a strong political institution, strong vision for Trinidad and Tobago. And to this day in 2023, we are still offering that. We modernize, we modify, we rejuvenate, we rebrand, but it is the philosophy of the PNM based on morality in public affairs and a focus on governance rather than on self, and making your treasury easily accessible and available to your friends. That is the difference, and on that basis, we stand on solid ground, and we are not worried at all. We have seen the best of them, we have seen the worst, so if the worst show up again, just another day in political paradise.
Mr. Hines, what do you think, in particular, in a local government election, which is usually quite low-key? There are so many opponents there's so many contestants. I mean, not say opponents. So they describe themselves as opponents to the PNM, but you have the UNC, which is the other main political party in Trinidad and Tobago. You have the UNC now joining with the NTA, which is headed by Gary Griffith. You have Jack Warner now jumping back into the fray as of Monday. You have Philip Alexander and the PP. You have Watson Duke and the PDP. You have MSJ. You have, I don't know if the what is Gavin Nicholas's party again?
MND.
The MND floating around with the UNC in some way, form, or fashion. And you have several independent candidates vying for districts in this local government election. One, what is it about this local government election that has elicited so many contestants, and two, so many contestants seemingly targeting the PNM?
Trinidad and Tobago is a most beautiful, amazing space. We have demonstrated great human capacity and potential. We have achieved greatness internationally in many, many, many and diverse ways. But at the same time, we have produced perhaps more smart men and smart women per square foot than any other country. We have a long history at the same time as producing greatness and real talent in all spheres of human life and existence. We also produce a high quantity of smart men and smart women. And by that I mean persons who feel that they can live a good life and have a good living without paying the honest price of hard work and prayer and honesty and selflessness, rather than to prosper at other people's pain, loss, heating, and expense. Politics in today's world, as perhaps it always was, it attracts people with a certain level of ego energy, because politics is not a quiet backroom business, it's a public business. So it attracts a certain personality type. And that personality type also has, in the context of the Trinidadian that I talk about just now, they have plenty smart men who could talk loud, who could talk fast, who glib, who could lie, who could scheme, who could plot, and they make themselves available to an unwary and careless people. This world has seen criminals end up in government already and in high places. You, gentlemen, don't need no examples of that.
But why do you think a local government election has spurred so much interest for contest?
Just to complete this, all of the people who you call there, none of them are new. All, as I tell you, have very sordid track records, not one new. Now, one of them changed yellow in 1 week from yellow to yellow and blue. The other one had power as commissioner of police. He was Minister of National Security for about 14 months. He was advisor to, I think, Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, who still obviously needs proper advice. And the other one, Mr. Warner, well, the less said about him, the better. Because I'm sure they're talking more about him in the United States than we could talk about him in Trinidad and Tobago, as he fights to avoid going there to account for international affairs, which he made us internationally famous around. So all of them see this local government election as a springboard to the general. This is not a real concern, because after the election on the morning of August the 15th, the PNM will be the government of Trinidad and Tobago. This is not about a change in government, but they see it as a platform and a springboard to energize themselves, to gauge the support that they could win, and most of all, as they do on a daily basis, every opportunity they get, everything they see or they hear that is worthwhile, it is to fight the PNM, because the PNM happens to be, from our track record, the gatekeepers, the ones standing at the door, the ones who are more akin to and practice consistently the business of good governance. We do not make your money as taxpayers so easily accessible to crooks and scams. We use your taxpayers' money to put up a new central block on Charlotte Street when we came into office knowing that it was earthquake prone in written reports from engineers. Kamla and they not concerned about good governance, they are concerned about that. We take your money, and to this day, a central block is being constructed on Charlotte Street for the poor and the ordinary people of Trinidad.
Why not take what you're saying, Minister, as information in the election? Is it that this election is also important for the PNM post August 15th? Because some are saying it's important for Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar and her future leadership of the UNC, because she's not been able to win 2 general elections, but it's also important to the PNM, given the result in Tobago and the issues facing the country.
Let me, in conclusion on my last point, say, before I answer your next question, we also take your money and we built a brand new administrative building for the Ministry of Health higher up on Charlotte Street, closer to the Savannah, Queen's Park East, actually. And we did that because we were spending millions of dollars in rent, as we still are, as I speak to you now, on Park Street for the Ministry of Health's administration building, their headquarters. We decided we could save you that rent and spend it on a building that you own. That's right there on Charlotte Street. And if we go along the Savannah from President's House to Stolmeyer's Castle to Office of the Prime Minister, all them important landmark buildings, heritage buildings, we have used your money to refurbish, among other things. And yet you hear Kamla Prasad-Bissessar saying, for 8 years they're in power and they have done absolutely nothing. As I speak to you, the Point Fortin Highway is close to its completion, which, well, I don't have to go into all of the details on that. Let me answer the next question here now. All elections are important to the PNM because it is in free and democratic elections that you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have an opportunity and have chosen your government. So it is important to us, if we want to provide you with the things we have since 1956 coming up the road, notwithstanding all the problems that we face and the little kinks and quirks that we have to face, which every country in this time have to face, whether it is economic, whether it is crime, whether it is social infrastructure. But we consider all elections important because the people have an opportunity to choose, and we give you the PNM as a very sound, good choice with a strong track record. So we're not afraid of that.
You know, I could not have said what you've been saying this morning better, Minister Hines, because I've been attempting to say it too. But I do know that the opposition is very aware, based on 1986 and 2010, that if they don't at least make an attempt to come together, that there is no way that they can defeat the PNM. They know that. Which is why they have been campaigning the way they've been campaigning for this local elections. It's just to see if the same people who fling all that mud and said all the most ridiculous things against one another could at least come together to get the PNM out, because that seems to be their only focus. They've not been speaking about the governance at local level or at national level at all.
That's why, Wendell, I made the point earlier. They are not newcomers. They have been in office before. They have been ministers of national security. They have been acting prime ministers in the case of Jack. They have been leaders of political party in the case of the now to be declared defunct ILP, which doesn't exist. So when I hear Jack say he go in and call a meeting, it's himself to himself. He alone, you know. But they're so scampish, politically scampish, meaning tricky. Yeah? You know, so they're not new. They all have had power. The question is how they have used it. And all I ask the people are trying to be able to do is to judge them by their track record, as indeed you judge us by our track record. But their technique is to go around and see a clogged drain, to see a burst pipe, to see a pothole in the road, and highlight it on social media, and to talk stupidness about how much murders under Hines. You know, this talk about how much murders under and how much murders under, when in fact the problem of murders in the country is, one, the very criminal, sinful, and reckless nature of human beings on the one hand, mixing up with guns that are far too easily available to such people. Now automatic weapons, so it's not 1, it's 5 and all kind of thing. I see 3 weekends ago in St. Lucia, 5 people were gunned down with automatic weapons in a quiet little sleepy tourist haven in St. Lucia. Last weekend in Little St. Vincent. So we are seeing this thing around the region. And what do we do in the spirit of good governance? We gather all the leaders of the Caribbean. We gathered ourselves together for the sake of protecting our people. We went to Washington. We went to New York. We called them to us. We went to Los Angeles. We say to President Biden. We say to the Vice President Kamala Harris, listen, we have a problem. Our people are bleeding and dying. We in Trinidad and Tobago set up an education system that creates opportunities for all. Paul Richards today is a doctor, not because he was sitting around doing nothing, but he made use of the opportunities, the online facilities that are available in Trinidad and Tobago. There are parts of the world that don't even have telephones still. But every youngster in this country, and those not so young like Paul and me, can get online and do courses and become a doctor and go maybe once a year to defend your thesis and what have you. We have created an environment here where opportunities in business, in sport, in academics are available to all. That is what we do. That's what we hold out to the people of Trinidad.
Just for the record, my doctorate is not an online doctorate.
Well, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying I'm sure a lot of your studies and research.
Yes, a lot were online. Minister, why do you mention the crime situation? It's not usually a subject of local government election, but it has become one on the campaign trail. Are you satisfied with the performance of the Commissioner of Police? We have not been able to contact her. She doesn't seem to be doing media interviews, so we'll have to pass on the question to you.
Before I answer that, let me continue. I was talking in the online environment. We have allowed service providers to establish themselves here. They pay their taxes, they do their thing, and now we believe that Trinidad and Tobago has internet access to an information superhighway where you could drive your car, get on that highway and sit down there for 3 years, for 5 years, while you are working otherwise and make something of yourself. That is what we do in Trinidad and Tobago, along with our formal education system, along with our very strong tech voc system, along with our strong youth development program system in the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Let me answer your question about the commissioner. As far as I am concerned, the commissioner is a standalone professional leading the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. It is like me. I have chosen to interview with you this morning. It is my choice. The choice about communications is a matter for all of us. As far as I'm aware, the commissioner is in communication with the national community in the way she knows and she chooses to. I have heard her up to recently. She issued a very strong statement. I saw her on the road. I saw people interviewing the commissioner within recent times. So I don't know what your experience is, but I'm sure, knowing the commissioner as I do, professional as she is, human person as she is, understanding what is happening as she is, if you could call her and arrange to speak with her, I have no doubt that she would facilitate that. And, it's the work goes on.
It's been very challenging. Let me put it that way. Minister, you spoke about the AR-15s, which is one of the big issues in the country in terms of the kinds of crimes you're seeing. And you spoke about your interface with the North American law enforcement agencies and the American government. How concerned are you about the transnational element in local crime? In particular, I saw a report which I really can't verify, the possibility of Haitian gangs moving down the island chain and impacting as far south as Trinidad and Tobago.
I am, of course, very concerned, but this concern is not new. I told you all before, the national community, that 85% of what we do is not discussed in the public. But insofar as transnational crime is concerned, we do have a standalone transnational organized crime unit operating in Trinidad and Tobago. We do have elements of the United States law enforcement, the DEA, the FBI, the ATF. We have them operating on the ground in the region, including Trinidad and Tobago. So we have been aware for decades about the impact of transnational crime. And when you see a patrol stop a vessel outside of Spain, somewhere in international waters, take it from me, very often it involves little spaces like Trinidad and Tobago. We are part of the international law enforcement engagement because most of the crimes, the gun trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, are in fact transborder, transnational. So yes, it is very impactful and the fight is on.
The issue of, well, fortunately we have you on so I can ask you, do you think the police are making inroads in terms of the specific areas where there were concerns that you reported in the parliament about a month and a half ago, the thefts of cars, the home invasions in specific areas that you identified, etc.? Can you give us an update on that?
The short answer to that is absolutely yes. Again, I am not at liberty to say all that I would like to, but I can tell you the answer is absolutely yes. But the nature of a home invasion, it is so invasive, so traumatic to be inside of your castle and to be confronted by strangers with guns who beat you, want to rape your daughter, take all that you have. It is extremely traumatic. And every single one, quite naturally, is given high-profile reporting. And every one of them is unbearable and too much. But I can tell you, action has been, is being taken, and the police are making strides in this regard in every aspect of it.
Has the Commissioner of Police delivered the written documentation? Has the Commissioner of Police delivered the written documentation of the Brent Thomas affair to you, as was promised in the Parliament?
I am not wanting to comment in any way upon that matter that is immediately in front of the court, particularly outside of the Parliament, where I am obliged to answer those questions protected by privilege. All I can tell you is that the police investigations and the police work continue apace. Gentlemen, a while ago I was about to tell you, not in defense of the Commissioner or anyone, people who hold the office that I hold, that she holds, are particularly the Prime Minister, ministers of government, and many, many, many others in this country. We are obviously particularly busy, and there's a lot of talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody quite happy. If you ask 3 Trinidadians the opinion, you will get 5. So there's a lot of talk. But I have come to the understanding a long time ago, talk don't fix our problems. It is work. So we are extremely to be busy working. Someone like me, sleep comes at a premium. There are many times when my body would like to sleep, but I can't afford to allow it to sleep because, well, you would know that, Paul, and all students will know. You have to make yourself stay up to burn the midnight oil.
But I'm sure you've become well seasoned in the art of operating on little sleep, Minister. So you can't even tell us, as the Commissioner had promised, that she delivered the report on Brent Thomas' investigation to you in 2 weeks. You can't even tell us yes or no.
I was just about to tell you that lest I be accused of not communicating with you, I took Steve Khan's call and agreed to be on this interview this morning.
Which we greatly appreciate.
Month, which beckons at the moment. So if you gentlemen would be kind enough to permit me to win or to capture 2 birds with 1 stone, I have had my interface with you, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Please now permit me to proceed to get on with the other business that was previously scheduled. May I have your leave?
Minister, thank you for being with us.
Minister, could you look out for a message from me sometime today?
With
that matter that we would have discussed a little while back, look out for a message from me today.
All right. Can't remember what it is, but I'll look out for the message. Okay?
All right. And don't forget, you have to drop something off for me.
Okay, I should try to remember that.
It's green and should get ripe soon.
I know what you're talking about. Once they come to a size that you deserve. Right now, they are babies. If I pick them now, it would be tantamount to an abortion.
I
don't want to practice that. So allow them to develop naturally.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Minister. All the best.
Okay.
You have a great day.
All right. Bye.
All right. Take care. Of course, that was Minister Fitzgerald Hines.
Talk about lyrics. That's Mr. Lyrical, you know.
He ain't answering that question, but the other Brent Thomas report I told you.
No. Once it leads to back to that Brent Thomas matter, which
the Commissioner of Police was asked in a GSC when the documentary report will be submitted, and she said 2 weeks, over 4 weeks ago. So I don't know what the big deal in saying yes, I received the report is.
Yeah.
I think they need privilege to say yes, I received the documented report.
Well, it maybe the fear is that it will lead to other questions in terms of the content of the report.
And then you can say I'm not at liberty to disclose the content.
Yeah.
Because the investigation is ongoing, and I fully understand that. But I received the report, yes, done.
Yeah.
But you see, that report is going to be, I'm sure, subject to the ongoing court matter. And when you document stuff, it can be subpoenaed. Am I wrong or right?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, so to confirm I have received a documented report, I can understand how it'll be challenging, I'll just say. 222-TALK, 222-8255-6, 128-255, toll-free, North Americans, 866-525-1099. It is 7:39.
But getting back to the politics and the response of Minister Hines, you know, he is absolutely right. except that, Minister Hines, a lot of people don't, how I should put it don't give him the benefit of his vast knowledge and experience with a lot of these political issues. I don't think he gets that kind of the kind of respect that he probably deserves with his vast knowledge. But, and of course, he has a way of saying things that using the type of words that a lot of people, how I should put it, maybe do not understand. But he is spot on in terms of the politics. And what he is seeing, what is playing out before us is clearly an amalgamation of a bunch of people who know that the only way that they can defeat the PNM is by coming together. But the mad scramble will be who will lead, who will be in charge. That is what will happen again when the time comes. Because we have everybody who are leaders in their own true mind and experience, and they will feel that the other one have too much baggage, and that's where the old talk gonna come up again,
All right. We have some calls coming through. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
morning.
I heard Paul said the minister didn't answer the question about the Brent Thomas issue, but he didn't answer any of your questions, Paul, when you ask him about the situation the country is in and what happened at Tobago and so on. He talk about the highway and the hospital.
Well, I have long, because of my years in the media, known that you cannot force the answer you want out of somebody. I wouldn't say the minister didn't answer. He maybe didn't answer to everybody's expectation. But yeah, Minister Hines is an experienced politician, and he will answer with what he wants to answer.
Yeah, so he got 3 ads this morning. He promoted it. He promoted as well. Okay, but
that is politics, eh? You know where this goes.
Politics. That is, and people don't understand that. The issue with Jack and Cam, all that is politics too. So I'm hearing Wendell this morning, about the last 5 minutes of Jack Warner's speech when he spoke about Marvin Gonzalez and he spoke about Stuart Young. They did the same thing too. Wendell was so happy about that. But
did I say I'm not happy about it?
You didn't say you're not happy, but you talk about it in a way that you're not pleased about it. Then.
Were you pleased about it?
I enjoy the politics. That's
not what I asked. That's not what you accused me of doing, and that's not what I asked. Were you pleased about it?
Well, I enjoyed the little politics.
No, you're playing smart with foolishness now.
No,
you're playing smart with foolishness now.
I didn't. I enjoy when.
Were you pleased with what you heard?
On both sides, yes. I enjoy.
No, oh, geez and ages. All right, you go ahead. You talk to Paul.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just enjoying it. When there is nothing to be upset about.
No, I'm not upset. I'm not upset. You said you accuse firstly. Caller, you accuse me. You accuse me of not being pleased, and I never said that. You accuse me of not being pleased, and when I'm asking if you were pleased, you're going wrong the mulberry bush. So go wrong the mulberry bush, but not with me.
All right, okay, don't get upset now.
I tell you, I'm not upset. I tell you, I'm not.
Let's cross that part.
You people like you expose yourself so easily, yeah. Everybody know where I stand, But people like you who pretend to be objective expose yourself so easily. Everybody know where I stand. Trust me.
This is true.
Okay.
I will concur with that.
I also too. We all know.
I would always say that is a position I always appreciate.
And not because they have that.
And they'll don't pretend.
It must always be the right thing. It must everything that is.
And trust me, when I'm wrong, I'm always ready to say I'm wrong. I was sorry.
Okay, because when Gavin say take the red flag, we all enjoyed it too. We laugh, you all laugh and enjoy that too. When you tell us we have a ticket for yourself,
what is wrong with somebody, Marvin, saying take the red flag? What's wrong with that? What insulting or disrespectful about that? What homophobic about that? You tell me. You answer me. What is homophobic or insulting or disrespectful about Marvin Gonzalez saying take the red flag?
What is that? Jack pong him back. What's wrong with that?
No, Jack Warner didn't pong him back. He insulted him. He disrespected him.
Okay then, all right. I agree with you there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, me and my wife, she stood with our mouth open watching each other like this. Fast,
Okay.
good 5-10 seconds.
Yeah. He did it to Kamla Prasad Bisesa too, and we didn't like it.
So it's politics.
When he called it the L word on a public platform, did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Nobody, we didn't enjoy that.
No. I didn't hear it live, but I heard this one. I heard this one live.
Okay.
You know.
But I'm sure you saw. I'm sure you saw the recording of it being played.
And look, Marvin, come back and hit him back again, and that's the politics. So we just enjoying it, and then at the end, you go and vote who you have to go and vote for. You know? And that's
true.
We have to be
That's
back to
it,
each other. You know? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, caller.
One thing you ain't gonna get out of Wendell Stevens hypocrisy. You know?
Stop that. Hello.
Hi, morning.
Morning, on. I was listening to Dr. Hines talking about building just now. What about who built the Cuba hospital? And apparently, they don't want the Cuba hospital. I saw the epidemic started rushing the Cuba hospital one time. We lost so much people due to COVID. Who knows? There might have more people more. What about the recycling velodrome? World class. Look what we produce now, the aquatic center. So it's not just party alone who build buildings, man. Let everything. The Cuba hospital was the main factor. If you don't have the Cuba hospital, I know you don't make out, you know. Right? Let Mr. Hines get winner. Right? The next thing, the Jacona situation. Why about Jacona? He's a national criminal and this and that. Why
Stop.
Okay.
No.
Thank you, caller.
No.
And that's anyway, it's sad. It's sad that that's what people think, and that's where it's going to go again.
Right, but you're not being allowed to say it on these airwaves, okay?
Yeah, it's sad.
Right. Stop. You're not going to be allowed to say it on this platform. You go out to the public and say it where you want and take your court case. You ain't seen it here.
Thank you. All right. Still continuing to take your calls. 222-8255. North American.
I watch a lady.
99.
Where I am on the Western Main Road. Let me give you this quick little story, right? I'm on the Western Main Road, but my frontage is a driveway because the property is at the back, right? So when I put garbage out the road, it has to go on either side of the road. It can't be in front of the driveway, right? But it's going on the public pavement, a pavement that's owned by the Port of Spain Corporation. Yesterday morning, I looked and one of the workers called and say the garbage is somebody put it in the middle of the driveway. I said, what? So I reviewed the cameras only to see the person to the immediate left of me, the corporation workers passed down the road and with the picking up garbage, and they would tie the bags and put it at central places so that when the truck passes, they would pick it up. This person assumed I put the garbage bag in front of their place and take the garbage bags and fling them in front of my driveway. I'm watching this on camera and I find it unbelievable. So I sent a message to the person. I said, don't let that happen again, please. And I sent her the videos of the pictures of the corporation workers coming down, cleaning the Western Main Road and gathering these bags and tying it and putting it there. You understand? I swear some people just, I say, but the pavement doesn't belong to you. Anybody could put anything on the pavement in front of your place. It does not belong to you. You think the people on the avenue had a choice where the plant pots go? You think they could say, don't put no pot in front of me? Or don't put any vendor in front of them when Carnival come? No. But some people take this ownership of what they think they have so far that I really got upset when I look back at those images yesterday to see this lady take up these bags and fling them in front of my driveway. I said, well, what are people going? They're going off.
All right. Just a reminder of our morning poll. You can vote on it right now. You can do that. All right. Should the PNM be worried about Warner's return to UNC? To the UNC. That's our poll. We give you the results in the morning. You have all night to vote. All right, so 222-8255, toll free. North Americans 866-525-1099. That's our numbers directly into our studio.
Never a dull moment.
No,
when we asked Jack Warner yesterday if this was the kind of politics he was going to be propagating for the next couple of weeks, he was undefinitive in his response.
Well, I looked at him the night. I looked at it live because he said he was not going down the road of the gutter politics or the thing.
But he went down the road.
And then he went down the road. Right? He went down the road. So, but that's Jack Warner's style. Everybody knows that. He's done it to everybody before. You understand? That's his style. So you could expect more of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, unfortunately.
You can expect more of it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't endorse that kind of politics. I think there are enough issues to talk about and people's performance or lack thereof in any particular administration. But that's, you know, when you have and that's the thing about it. When you're in front of your home crowd, your core supporters, as it were, you're going to get the response you want.
Yeah.
It's going to go viral, and those are the clips that have gone most viral. Because unfortunately there's an appetite for that sort of thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, around the world, really.
Yeah. I have been to PNM meetings, Paul and Steve, where I've heard something. I say, oh God, why they have to say that? Come on, we could be better than that.
It's across the board. It's across the board. Because they're in front of the core support base, and they know they have to energize them by saying X and Y, or they feel they have to energize them by saying X and Y and Z.
Some of the things ain't necessary. It's just not necessary.
All right,
to you and me, but
good morning.
Good morning, people.
Morning.
Good morning, Miss Arima.
I am not hearing.
Go ahead.
We're hearing you all right. She probably was listening to the delayed version.
Yeah.
Because we are hearing her very, very good. Miss Arima, if you're listening still, we are hearing you very clear.
Listen on the telephone.
Yeah.
Listen.
Some people tend to walk away from the device, you know, but they're still hearing it.
On the telephone. If you are listening to both the online, the app, or the telephone, you're going to get 3 different sets of delays.
Yeah.
And it's going to be confusing. If you make the call, please listen on the telephone.
Yeah. Just letting people know too that Jose starts the night in St. James.
Okay.
Tonight is flag night, okay? Just letting you all know. Starts from around 10:30 p.m. and goes till 4 in the morning, 3:30 to 4 in the morning. All right, so just be mindful that the Western Main Road in St. James will be closed off between, I would say, 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. All right, remember that.
I think, fortunately, we've moved away from the practice of people going to Jose and thinking it's a jam and wine.
Yeah, we moved away from that.
There was a time when we used to feel it's a jam and wine. It's not a jam and wine.
Yeah.
It is a religious observance and should be treated with that level of reverence.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning again. I was listening to my phone lying in my bed, but I don't know what happened. Anyway, my answer to the poll is PNM has nothing to worry about. No.
All right. Thank you, Miss Arima. I still get any echo in the back of her.
Yeah, that's her device she has on.
Yeah.
Now, she said she's listening on the phone, so
yeah.
Maybe she has a device somewhere yonder in the room.
Yeah. Well, you could. Can't you make a call whilst listening? I think.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
Well, most people are listening on the devices, but when they actually get through, they switch down, reduce the volume on the device and listen on the phone or move away from the device.
Yeah. Steve, you didn't play the Karen Ashe?
We cannot play it. We will get bumped off YouTube.
Is that so? Okay.
There are copyright
sorry.
issues for YouTube streaming, so
Oh,
Which
okay.
one it was? Karinashe, which one?
Uncle Jack.
he can play it. He can play it at 8 o'clock when we come off stream.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
You're
well,
quite,
could do that.
you're quite eager to hear that rendition, aren't you?
No, I like it. It's a very cleverly put together
It's a
tune.
great song. It's a good. Didn't she win or do very
She
well
won.
with that song?
She won.
She
Yes,
won.
she
Didn't
won.
she win? Yeah.
She won. Yeah.
She won.
Yeah.
I see. Things are heating up for Barbados Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they moved it to the middle of August instead of the first week. So there are a lot of big fetes. I saw there's a fet called Tipsy. A lot of TNT artists, Bunchy and Faye and Nadia Batson, Nyla Blackman, Marshall Montano, all descended on the island of Barbados over the last weekend. Huge crowds.
Okay.
So the full swing. So I guess the carnivals are starting up the island chain. Our band launchings have started too. We had a plethora of tribe launches over the last weekend.
Yeah, which I went to. I told you all my first band launch in God alone knows how long. I went to tribe launch in the savannah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm not a carnival person, as a lot of people know. You know, but I enjoyed it. A kind of weird kind of music though for the introduction of the mass costumes. A lot of Afrobeats kind of music that they use to introduce the masqueraders on stage. You know, not too much calypso was played really. You know, well, soca I should say.
Soca.
Yeah, soca.
Dating yourself again. Here you go.
That's all right.
Dating yourself.
That's all right.
I don't know when the last time you played calypso in Carnival Fets or band launch. Highly unlikely.
You saying we ain't get to explain for a little while or a little
No. Oh, da.
Yeah, that we can do it a little delamo.
You would love that on a Carnival Fet.
Well, I have enough of that to hear coming up just now, you know.
I know I've heard one big truck passing. Maybe it's still early.
No, it's
It is the 26th, which means we have 5 and 14, 20 days to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till last 2
I think
weeks.
this weekend is the PNM meeting tonight and then Friday, or have they postponed it?
Friday.
The meeting is on.
In Arima, I think tonight. Arima is tonight, I think.
Okay.
And,
is it still on?
I think so. As far as I'm aware, it's still on.
So I saw digital with tonight and Friday.
Yeah, and I think Friday is point 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know it will be fiery.
Mm-hmm.
We shall, for the purposes of news coverage, be monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's grab this call. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
I am a swing voter. I voted for all the different parties. But when I listened to Mr. Hines this morning about this issue, I mean, you went to Parliament and you said the lady going to release the document, and you just refused to say whether or not she sent it to you. I mean, those things really, really get to me. The other thing is the fuel issue. Mr. Rowley went into Parliament and he said that they were going to release a schedule showing you what the prices of oil will require to be for us to get a decrease in the price of gasoline. And since then, that has been almost a year now or more, and we haven't heard anything at all concerning that. I just can't see, based on little simple things like that, this time around I could vote for PNM in this local government election.
Thank you, caller.
Raise two issues that had nothing to do with local elections and say you are swing voter.
But to be fair, this local election has taken on the tenor of a national election in terms of issues.
Yeah, but you know, I are wrong too long to be fooled by that rhetoric.
The cost of fuel is a cost of living issue.
Hello. He said Dr. Rowley went to the Parliament. Right? That was a issue that came up in the budget. right? With Minister Imbert talking about those fuel prices that we have raised from time to time. What is really going on with the fuel prices? I thought we were liberalizing it so that you could get gas going up one day and down the next day. We haven't heard anything. But I don't know that is going to be... If he say... No, I'm not taking anything from the caller. If he said that is what's going to make him not vote for the PNM, well, all power to him. All power.
It's 8 o'clock. You have a wonderful, safe day. It looks like it's going to be beautiful weather-wise. Please be safe on the roads, and we will...
mixed weather.
Yeah, Arima is a bit cloudy with a little peeping through a sun. So, folks, also have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. Don't forget to say Flag Night is tonight in St. James. So be mindful of the traffic restrictions in the area. Okay? Bye.